decide in this video to go over and wire some stuff in my camp trailer, and I'll go through a good explanation now, so when I'm going through everything it won't be as bad. But the camp trailer has solar on it, and it's got a load terminal on the charge controller, which is programmable, and if it's going to do what I think it's going to do, I'm going to be able to control a relay off of that terminal so I can run my fridge off of my power inverter that I've got wired into my trailer. And that way during the day while the sun's up, I can run my fridge off the sun for free, saving propane. And then with it being on the relay and the load terminal, should be programmable to where if it drops below a certain voltage, it will turn that terminal off, and then when it comes back up on that voltage, it will turn it back on. That way the fridge will just switch from propane to 120 volts automatically, and I don't have to remember to turn it off, because if I forget to turn it off before I go to bed, I kill my batteries, and then that's not fun. So I'm just trying to automate it, and I will have a video on everything of what I'm doing. I just figured I'd explain it a little better right at first so it's easier to follow along, but I'll show what parts I'm doing here, what parts I'm doing there. If by chance the charge controller for the solar doesn't do what I want it to do, I have already done some research, and they have got automatic low voltage cutoff switches, so I could wire it to one of those instead and use that as an automation instead of the solar controller. But either way, I'll get it to work. But I have not ordered that other low voltage cutoff because I'm hoping the charge controller works. But when I get everything there and set up, I will video it and we'll go from there. Okay, the charge controller is not going to work. It, for whatever reason, wants to turn the load terminal on at night and off during the day, and I want that to go the other way around. So I just ordered this relay. I will go over that when it gets here. I probably won't even make this video until that gets here and it's all done, but I am going to run wires and show you kind of what I want to do, because I can control the load terminal from my phone through the Bluetooth off my charge controller, and I'll show you all that, so I can see if the relay is going to work and all that stuff, and then that way when the other low voltage cutoff gets here, all I got to do is just wire that in and set it and be done. But we'll go from there. Okay, I've just got my charge controller mounted up here in the cabinet here. Sorry, I'm trying to get this in this hole and stand on my tippy toes. So what I'm doing here is just going to run this into the load terminal and just use this as a switch off my phone for now until I get that other relay in. So before I go crawling on the ground and everything, I am going to just run this wire in here and just run it on the floor in the trailer for now, and over to the, I'll show you where it's going to go, so I can just test and make sure this relay is going to work too, make sure I don't even need to get another relay on this other side. So just kind of testing process. Why is that not going in there? I know what I want it to do, but I've never done it. I haven't talked to anybody about doing it. So I am just going to do it myself and see what happens here. Oh, there we go. I think I felt it that time. unscrew it all the way first. Pretty far. This again. Let's try. Yep, grabbed it that time. So 30 amp MPP charge controller. Here's the load terminal. I'm just going to run this wire on the floor out to the fridge over here and hook it to the relay and just see if my idea is going to work before I crawl underneath the trailer and run it down and everything. So we'll go over here to the fridge. And here's the fridge, but I've got some stuff wired in down here, which I will be cleaning up. Still kind of in test mode to see what's. But yeah, I'll put this all in a J box. I've just got it set there for now. Just testing stuff, so we'll go from there. So here's the relay I'm going to use. When I ordered it, I seen the 12 volt DC down here for the coil. I thought the 120A was 120V, which would be 120 volts, which would be this guy here, but it's 120 amp. The fridge I'm running is only 2.7, so I'm hoping it'll be fine, but that's why I'm doing the testing. So here's the wire that I just plugged into the charge controller. I'm going to hook this to the coil, and I'm just going to test. I've got it Bluetooth on my phone. To turn that load terminal on and off. And what I'm going to do here is just test and make sure that that load terminal is even going to do what I want. But like I discussed, I'm already going to go to a different low voltage cutoff, and I'll go over that. I'll just get everything wired today, make sure, so that way all I got to do is just wire in that little relay. But let's set up my meter here just to test that this wire is going to carry enough to do the coil, and then I can hook the 120 line to it and see if it's gonna mess up this relay. If not, I'll have to get a new relay. But so when you hear the beep, that means that coil's activated, and I'll show you what I've got going on here in terms of this Renogy app. So we've got it connected here, and here's the load terminal. Let's turn off this light. Oh, flashy light. Here's the load terminal here. So now, it's got all my battery voltages. So now if I hit this load terminal, you should hear my meter beep. Perfect. Meter beeps. So that works. Turns it right back off. Turns it right back on. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted it to do. So now what I'm going to do is go turn off the power inverter because I have it on right now. And get these wires up here all disconnected and run through this back into there, and I will record all that and we'll go from there. I just want to get this inverter off so I don't electroshock myself. Alright, this meter will do non-contact voltage. I use it for work, and there is nothing going on in there. So, this light on. Put the phone out of the way. Coil relay out of the way. Let's figure out what the fridge is, which I do believe is this one here. Oh, it's a nice wire nut. I guess I didn't need to undo the ground in the column. Let's get a new wire nut on. This guy. This guy. Maybe. There we go. Okay, grabbed a little bit of 110 wire. Okay, I'm gonna put this ring terminal on here just for now. I will go through and clean all this up and put a J box in. I actually want to put an outlet in for that. That's my dog. Wireless leash. Okay, so that's gonna go there. Now I need to take this one. Put another ring terminal here. this will do is, once I get that other low voltage cutoff relay, it will control the coil side of the relay, which is this guy. And I'll show you how it works on the phone here in a second. Turning this, you know, basically just connecting and unconnecting that there. So I don't have to remember to do it. I just have recently just started testing all of this. So this is all kind of new. That's why I didn't 100% know if that charge controller would do it. I read online that it might not, but I wanted to get to my instructions so I knew it would or would not. So let's maybe get this up to there. Probably need to get a bigger wire nut or maybe a terminal strip to hook all this to. Okay, so if I hit the load terminal, click, click. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is turn the, oh, sitting on the floor too long. Turn this fridge on, and it should be on auto, which it should tell me gas. Perfect. Without any power hooked to it, it should still stay gas, which it does. Off. Okay, so we got 20.8 volts, 1.58 amps, 33 watts, 100%. Four batteries are at 14 volts. It's got, looks like at 2.25 amps coming in. So it's on float charge mode. So we'll see what happens when I turn all this load on. Let's come turn the power inverter back on. Power inverter should be back on. And now we say gas. Click. Maybe. Let's get my meter and test and see if we have any power anywhere. Maybe the inverter didn't come on. Maybe it won't let it go through it. Maybe it's only letting a certain amount of voltage go through it because it's only showing 36 volts on that relay. And I should have oh yeah. Let's go turn that power inverter off. I need to get a different wire nut. Oh yeah, didn't have it connected all the way. That could be be an issue. Load off. Alright, let's turn it back on. So we should have, why is it only showing 35 volts? Now it's showing 60. Let's see, we got a issue here. I think it's the should have 110 volts. But I've only got 60, which is weird. So let's go. Oh, there's 110 there. Okay, so it has been a week. I had to wait for this PowerWorks compact low voltage disconnect battery guard. And what it's going to do is have some adjustable voltages here on the side, and then your output and your input with some LEDs to tell you what's going on. So I'm going to put my battery on my input, put the relay, which is this guy here, and I'll show you how I wired that here in a second, on the output. So when this drops below, and I've got it set for 11.8 right now, and I'm going to be testing this. This is all kind of trial and error. So what that'll do is turn the fridge off through this relay, make it go to propane by itself. Then once the voltage comes back up to 12.8, it'll turn the fridge back on through the power inverter through the solar. But what I got going on here is this wire right here is my main wire coming from the power inverter, which is this wire right here. So this is going to be my 110, my hot side of 110. This guy goes up into here, which is going to feed the this side of the outlet, and then the relay. So this top part will be hooked up to the relay, which I got it separated by pulling the pin out of this right here. So this one will be constant from the inverter. This one will be switched from the low voltage disconnect, so I could plug anything I wanted into it. And if I didn't want it to kill the batteries, it won't. It'll turn itself off. So this is going to go up and power the relay, or not power the relay, but use the power to transfer through. So we're going to put this in a wire nut. And then this wire comes up and goes to this terminal right here, which then I've got just another terminal on there to feed that, so it has constant power. Then this side of the relay goes to that side of the plug, which will turn it on and off. This right here is the 12 volt that goes up to the battery, which I'm going to wire this into, and I'm going to set it down in here. I was going to put it up by the batteries, but where it's adjustable and I might need to get to it, probably better idea to put it up here. It's waterproof, so I'm just going to screw it to the floor down there. Got an amplifier there, that hasn't been an issue. So, but there's that one, and then I've got this one here, which goes to the TV up top. This one here goes to an outlet that I got out here, so I don't have to have this door open to plug anything in. The reason I have two outlets here is I've got this wireless dog fence that I can plug in, so I don't have to put collars and stuff on my dogs. They just wear a shock collar and they stay very close to the trailer. It works really well. So what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to put this relay back in and everything, and then obviously I got my neutral and my ground. Let's put this back in. I just pulled it apart because I did do some work without the camera, but it was just mainly mounting the boxes and doing all this wire stuff, and then so I've had it all tested and everything without the low voltage disconnect. Oh God, this is not a fun angle. Big wire nuts. Here's what we get everything in one wire nut. And then we're gonna twist that guy there. That guy there. Too big of wire nuts. No, there we go. Get a good twist out of it. Roll it back in. We've got our grounds here, neutrals. So we'll get all of our neutrals tied together here. Put a yeller one on there. Okay, and I'm just using that as a junction box so it all stays nice and pretty. Cover back on that because we're done in there. Okay, so kind of see this green light right there. According to this, solid green means power passing through normally. Flashing green means selected low voltage disconnect level has been reached, waiting for disconnect delay to turn off. Slow flashing red, low voltage level reached and output load is off. So if it's flashing red, that means it's not sending power to the outlet that I put up here. And then solid red is an over voltage, so we'll see here. Get my knife and stuff, and we'll get that relay hooked up, and it should turn it on. Wonder what over voltage is, so that way I can set my charge controller not to go over that. Oh, 16.5, we're good. Oh no. I heard the relay click. And then this terminal here is the aux. It says in the instructions that if you take a wire and jumper it from here to the positive side on the battery, it'll put it into like a little 15-minute emergency type deal, but I don't think I'll ever need that unless I ran out of propane, but I always make sure it's full before I go, so I'm not going to hook anything to that, and I always have my tools with a jumper wire, so I could just put a jumper wire on it and jumper it out, but we'll put the screw in there just so I have a spare. But that should make everything work right. I'm going to test it obviously here. I'm going to vacuum and do a couple other things and watch voltages. I may just turn the heater on real quick and do a really quick down and dirty test to make sure it's going to work. So yeah, so this top one is the switched through that relay. Let's grab my heater here that takes a ton of power. Got it. Let's go turn the inverter on. Bluetooth monitor here. So if I turn on this heater here, that should start drawing power pretty quick. Turn her up to 90, put a swing on it so I start getting some voltage coming out. So it should disconnect at 11.8. We're at 13.3. $13.10. It's pulling a draw now. $13. $12.9. $12.7. $12.6. And I didn't want it to run this heater. This heater takes like 3 times the amount of power that what I want to run off of it does, so the heater is more or less to just kill my batteries real quick so we can make sure this low voltage disconnect works. 12.3.